tall, with a very, very crazy sort of style of throwing punches from all kinds of angles. Hatton will have to be careful on the way in. Roll inside. Make sure he isn't caught by some kind of silly punch, because he is heavy-handed, this Colombian Carlos Maussa.
Well, Ricky will want to get Maussa on the back foot, where the long swinging wide punches are not quite so effective. Fighters who throw them wide usually have to come forward. Well, Ricky was a little bit naughty with his own head there, I thought.
Hatton's first defence of the IBF title gets him with a good body shot. Maussa making his first defence of the WBA version. Has to be careful, he's cut! Hatton is cut in the opening seconds of the fight, above the left eye. The old problem resurfaces. He's been getting away with it recently. Was that a clash of heads, or was he caught by a punch? But an early problem, and he's had these kind of crises before.
Mickey Van has just motioned to Maussa's head. I wonder, could that save Ricky's version of the title? Was he telling us it was a clash of heads? We'll find out at the end of the round, I believe.
Because if it has to be stopped within 4 rounds, it could be declared a no contest.
Ricky, it's very, very reckless here. This is not necessary. This was necessary against you, but not against this fellow. He can take more cane, he can box smoother, but he's very, very reckless.
Early drama here. Hatton, who's had plastic surgery in the past because of cuts problems. Cut above the left eye, and he catches Maussa, who does hold his chin in the air. At times his style looks like a novice Maussa. He's so wide open, but he's a threshing machine almost of a fighter, just throwing out these shots like some kind of whirling dervish and hoping to get lucky.
Well, the first round has served up drama we could have done without. Looking forward to see what Mickey Van made of that injury. Was it head or was it a punch?
No, they say a head clash, I'm hearing. We're hearing that it was a clash of heads.
It's strange because at that point it looked as though Ricky was the one who was a little bit naughty with his head.
And the cut does look quite bad as well. Another cut. Spreading along that eyebrow. He got it with a body shot. Maussa will be lifted by that. He's rocked by that left hook. His balance is pretty awful, Maussa.
I mean, he is actually like a novice at times. He's very heavy-handed. I mean, Ricky has to push him back, but a bit more control in his boxing would have been much better. Well, it's important that Ricky wins the early rounds in case this goes to the scorecards after the 4th.
That's the cut-off point. There must be 4 completed rounds before they can go to the scorecards in this scenario. If they don't have 4 completed rounds and the fight has to be stopped before that, it is a no contest.
Ricky's struggling with his range at the moment. This is it. A little bit more control and hunt the body.
And he needs to be careful too, Hatton, as he dives in, that he's not just picked off with one of these many lottery tickets, if you like, that Maussa's buying as he throws the punches, and one of them doesn't just hit the jackpot.
I mean, the problem, Ricky, is not looking the smooth one champion that we expected tonight. Get the result as he did against you, but I'd like to see him a little bit smoother.
He's a hard man to look good against, though, Carlos Maussa. That Billy Graham, the trainer, was saying Ricky will look good. So far, not.
But Hatton is so much better technique-wise than Maussa. He can force him into making mistakes, punish him for those mistakes. But Ricky's just too keen and eager to get close.
He's trying to just rock him back. They don't think Maussa can fight on the back foot, I think.
No, the tactics are right, just a little bit too reckless for my liking.
We're keeping an eye on that cut to see whether it can hold up. Remember, he had to fight the whole fight a few years ago against John Thaxton in a British Championship fight with a terrible cut. Not many fighters would have been allowed to go on with it. A few other instances as well. but not many lately, not till tonight.
Ricky trying to sink in some body shots here to slow this fella down.
Maussa, a real wild man, but he is strong and he's well conditioned. He's been working up in the mountains of Colombia at 6,000 feet to get himself ready for this.
Ricky reaching with his punches there, whereas in the past he stepped in with the shots. This fellow is as awkward as he expected, I think.
A lot of body to aim at though of Maussa, and Hatton of course needs no second invitation in that area usually. Maussa gets in with his own body punches as well. Miguel Cotto, who fought him, the WBO champion, said that Maussa was very, very strong and hit surprisingly hard. Cotto stopped him in 8 rounds and floored him in the 3rd as well.
Improvement in Ricky's work now. A little bit cooler, picking his punches better. He was reaching with the shots on the way in.
The spoon, Frank Bruno's old opponent, among the many stars at ringside. Big fight occasion, big fight atmosphere. Hatton comes forward again, looking to back up Maussa all the time. The Colombian believing that one of these wild punches as if might pay off for him.
Well, Ricky was expecting an awkward customer, and that's exactly what he's getting. He hasn't shaken Maussa yet with any of the head punches.
Good left hook, right on the button that time from Hatton, but Maussa again
heads came
unmoved.
together as well though, Ian. Is that the other eye? That looks like the other eye, Ian.
Let's see if he's got another cut. He's got his back twist at the moment, but we think Hatton might have picked up another cut here.
The heads came together just as that punch landed, Ian. It looks as though he's cut over both eyes.
Oh dear. Another head clash and another problem for Hatton, who gets him with a great right uppercut. Maussa looked a bit troubled by that one, suddenly looked down at the canvas, but he'll be lifted by the sight of the blood. Gory though that may seem. Oh, it's a bad one. It's a bad one by the right eye.
I mean, this is bad news for Hatton tonight, but it's also bad news for his boxing future in this division. A long time since he's been cut, and 2 horrible cuts in the one fight.
Tell you what, Mick Williamson, the cuts man's going to earn his living tonight. The 1 minute wonder in the corner.
Well, Ricky needs this fight to pass the 4th round if he wants to go home with 2 titles, because he's obviously heading points. But if it's stopped at the end of this round, then both guys go home, I believe, with their own titles.
Is he seeing okay out of that eye as well? Maussa's smiling, leering through his gun shield somehow. Just there, being warned Maussa about using the heel of the glove to try to rub his glove into the cup by the referee Mickey Van.
Well, can we say we're surprised? I mean, he is a roughhouse, he's careless with his head, his elbows, so why should we be surprised?
Dirty tricks department from the Colombian. Few fighters would try that, mind you, in his situation. Long way from home, crowd against him. He's in the bear pit, all right, but Hatton's got a problem, a big problem.
No, Ian, I think the fact that his head has caused both cuts, his title safe, because he's winning the round, so if it goes to the scorecards, he's going to win. But we need another round completed.
There's got to be a point deduction. In fact, he was lucky to get away without one then, I think. Here's round 4, and remember, this 4-round cut-off, otherwise no contest. After that, they can go to the scorecards, and Hatton is leading, I think, quite beyond dispute. But this fight, we thought it might be one with a few scary moments along the way, and it's proving exactly that. Put the kids to bed early, Hatton said at the press conference.
Well, it's living up to that, but Ricky still has to be careful, because if he walks onto a solid shot and is knocked down, then we can forget the scorecards. He still has to do this in a professional manner.
Watch the heads. Warning there, particularly to Maussa from Mickey Van, who has refereed Hatton about 8 or 9 times in the past. Oh, that's a good shot, that jab, which he turned into a hook at the last minute from Hatton. Definitely the superior technician. There's a lot of the novice really about Maussa's style.
Yeah, but Ricky's finding it difficult because of that to put punches together. He's landing single shots. But this fellow is so unorthodox, he's so clumsy, he clinches, pushes, pulls. It's difficult for Hatton to find some rhythm and put punches together.
Maussa, who grew up fighting on small shows in Colombia, where he knocked out everybody inside about 4 rounds, but they were obscure fighters. It was the Vivian Harris win that gave him worldwide attention. He's on about 10 times his previous highest purse tonight, Maussa. Glad to get the job, but he wants Hatton's title as well as the one he holds.
Well, some of the pace has gone out of Maussa's work now. So this is where you would expect Ricky really to take over and start dominating things, and still just like a little bit more care on the way in. Good body.
Keeping his cool, Hatton, despite looking through the red mist of the cut, which is causing blood and must be just impairing his vision slightly, I would say.
Lot more control in Ricky's boxing now, picking the shots, finding the range, getting his timing together. Some of the awkwardness has gone out of Maussa's work because he's slowing down.
Starting to get to him with some of these body shots, and another hook to the head. Just settled into a better rhythm. He was rushing it, I think, early on. The adrenaline was flowing. Just picking the shots, not diving in as much, and avoiding too, as he does this, the clashes of heads a bit more. If he can keep it out at range, he does have to get on the inside to punch to the body. But somehow maybe raiding tactics would be better. Well, he got to those 4 rounds and then Hatton gave him one after the bell. And maybe
come as the pace slows.
Felix Zabala, the manager, sending out Maussa with the message that it's still all there for him, possibly.
Ricky just walked onto a couple of hooks there.
Oh, left hook was a good shot from Hatton, and again it landed flush into the head of the Colombian, who looks a little disorientated. For a while he has a strange habit of looking at the canvas and trying to throw punches while not looking at the opponent. Bizarre.
And he's dropping his own hands now.
Low blow that time from Maussa. He must be close to a point deduction for various transgressions.
Well, I think Ricky is finding out just how difficult it is to land cleanly. He's been forced to reach with his punches by the way Maussa is pulling back, swaying back. Ricky, a little bit untidy again in this round.
Good head movement though. He's slipping a lot of the shots from Maussa and just finding his way into range to get him with his own. So much more accurate than the wild man from South America. A wild man who I think range dangerous. Right hand lands again. Maussa takes that without any apparent distress.
A little bit of blood in Maussa's eye, but it's below the eye, below the right eye, nothing serious. Maussa's punches are beginning to look tired now.
Hatton starting to get to him. Very good accuracy from Hatton, driving Maussa backwards across the ring. That was the flat. It's a bit of a roller coaster ride, isn't it, here?
Maussa still hasn't really been troubled by any of the head shots from Ricky. I still think Ricky is having to get up onto his toes to land the shots, so they're not full power shots.
Such an awkward Spider-Man to fight, this Carlos Maussa. Just again gives that silly little smile after Hatton lands the shot, which told him in a way that it registered, I think. And that certainly did, that one.
That was better. He got closer.